Hi and welcome. Thanks for tuning in, watching this video shot from here in 360 from my shed. So feel free to take a look around as I talk, and notice that the shed isn't quite finished or polished yet, but it is a work in progress. But nonetheless, do welcome to my little geek den here. So my name's Nick, and I just wanted to do a quick video now in its kind of raw form, I suppose, just to quickly introduce myself and this new YouTube channel I'm starting up, which has really been created to start looking at kind of more of the serious applications of emerging technologies, especially around the VR space and imagery space. I've kind of started really enjoying this term VR for good and how it's been used to describe all the applications VR is being used to try and promote and to try and encourage human behaviour and development and interaction in a positive way. And I'm very passionate about the use of technology in this humanities kind of space. So this was a channel I've created to look at creating some videos in this area and hopefully interviewing and talking to people as well. And the reason why I'm really passionate about it, I suppose, it is twofold. One is my background, my more recent background is looking at VR and actually 360 video in terms of how we can use that in healthcare and wellness and such like that. But also on a kind of more personal level is just to talk to you a little bit about my passion and interest in this area because of the way I've been kind of brought up and my mindset. So I have Asperger's syndrome, so which basically means I just approach things and look at things probably a little bit differently. Do check out, if you don't know what Asperger's is, on the internet for a definition. But to say that I find social interaction a bit different would be probably a little bit of an understatement. But nonetheless, it certainly gives an interesting perspective on life, if you like. But on top of that, I do suffer with quite severe anxiety, and this is due to a couple of reasons. But nonetheless, both those kind of factors have led me to really kind of embrace, I suppose, or look at some of this technology in a way that could potentially enable. So a couple of years ago, I created something called Patient VR, which was a project that used, and don't get me wrong, it's quite a basic version of using virtual reality and 360 video, but to try and show what the patient sees in a lot of these kind of scenarios when going into hospital. And the purpose of this was just to try and promote clinicians putting on the shoes of the patient, or seeing the situation and the environments from the other perspective. And within that kind of those video scenarios and such, embedded within those are the ideas of sort of compassion, empathy triggers that could be caused from something very simple like eye contact or movement around the 360 image there. And this sort of has led on to me looking at sort of 360 video and VR in different applications in health and well-being as well. But I'm so impressed with what's going on out there in the world now and the pace of things. I felt like I wanted to create a channel to pay a bit more attention to that. So that's kind of the story behind the VR channel here. And of course, obviously there is fun involved in that as well. So just to talk a bit about background, one of my children, my oldest son, also has Asperger's, but his interaction with learning in this new kind of immersive space, if you like, is really powerful. To the point where he told me he's able to explore these new kind of worlds without having to have those anxieties of actually traveling to experience it in kind of the reality of it. And that's not to take away the benefit that exists in that kind of real world kind of experiencing, but actually it's this VR could be a good step in that, and I think that's really potentially really powerful. So I'm really looking at some of these areas. My background previous to my current role was actually in video production. I really enjoyed working in sort of the video games industry and then in broadcast and such like that. So video and imagery is kind of a natural medium, was one I can relate to a lot better than writing. Although I am doing a PhD, my natural kind of thought process is kind of visually led, so that's the point here. But I'm also looking at setting up a VR experience lab here in Devon, in South Devon particularly, because I believe this technology has a great influence and a great way of igniting ideas. But until you actually have contact with this technology, it's very hard to try and talk about it, I think, without experiencing it. And as well as the kind of the education benefits and the future of technology that will be embedded within education and jobs and things like that, is actually getting people in contact with this technology in the first instance, and I'm really passionate to try and facilitate that. So one of the other projects I'm currently working on, which I will document as I go along, a man from his shed going onward sort of thing, is actually creating a VR experience lab here in the Southwest, and to ignite some of these ideas and some of this collaboration and such like that. And I am just one man that doesn't have a full comprehensive knowledge of this area, but I'm driven by passion, and I'm driven by the potential of doing something good, you know, and that's something that I'm always trying to do, is look at how I can use my interests to try and promote something good and to try and help processes and stuff like that. So thanks for watching this video. Not all the videos will be kind of raw 360 shot from the shed, but I wanted to kind of give you a real sort of bare bones and honest start to this channel. So I appreciate you watching. Thanks very much, and I'll hopefully see you again soon.